So we currently have this debt ceiling fight ongoing with Biden and the Republicans. Biden is trying to make a deal with these people when there is no deal to be made. What they're calling for is an increase in military spending while cutting programs for the working class. Under no circumstance should Biden agree to that. Now, thankfully, because of Trump and Biden being united, cuts to Medicare and Social Security are off the table. Republicans originally wanted that in there, but now we're talking about other terrible ideas like work requirements for, the food stamp program, that's the SNAP program, and other things that help the working class. No deal, no deal, no deal. Not in a million years should Joe Biden make that deal. But just to show you how dumb this whole process is, Biden has the ability to act unilaterally, use the 14th Amendment to just say no more debt ceiling, or mint the coin, mint $1 trillion coin to just circumvent this whole fight. He could do all that by himself. But just to show you how out in la-la land we are, these are the people that Joe Biden is dealing with. Okay, so this is in Raw Story. They say, here's what Marjorie Taylor Greene said. Biden is held hostage by the radical left mob in spending talks. Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene said on Saturday that it is not the Republicans in Congress who are trying to appease their radical fringe base in spending talks, but the White House and Joe Biden. Greene, who is known for making fantastic claims on Twitter, was responding to Fox News senior congressional correspondent Chad Pergram, who reported on news coming from the White House on the ongoing spending discussions with Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Pergram quoted a White House representative as saying, quote, "It is only a Republican leadership beholden to its MAGA wing, not the president or Democratic leadership, who are threatening to put our nation into default for the first time in our history unless extreme partisan demands are met." Greene replied, saying it was Biden who was beholden to the extremist leftists. Here's her direct quote. "Reality, Biden is held hostage by the radical left mob in his party that refuse to let him cut any spending," she wrote. But Joe doesn't care because he's over at the G7 summit trying to keep up. Okay, now let me pause here to point out the obvious. You think Biden is beholden to the far left? I got news for you. The far left despises Joe Biden. Despises Joe Biden. Biden hasn't served them. Do we have Medicare for all? Do we have universal health care? Do we get a $15 minimum wage all across this country? Is Joe Biden fighting to get money out of politics and end the corruption? If you think Biden is beholden to the far left, you have no idea what you're talking about. You have no idea what the quote-unquote far left wants, and you have no idea how Joe Biden has governed. No idea whatsoever. The amount of delusion to lump all those people together and say, oh, Biden's beholden to those people. Are you insane? Are you insane? But this story gets better. Oh, you guys don't like this. The same thread by Pergram, to which Greene was responding, included quotes from the White House in which Biden had offered to cutting spending items. Quote, "The president has over and over again put deficit reduction proposals on the table, from limits on spending to cuts to big pharma profits to closing tax loopholes for oil and gas. Let's be clear, the president's team is ready to meet any time," the White House representative was reported as saying. So, let me repeat what Marjorie Taylor Greene said. Reality, Biden is held hostage by the radical left mob in his party that refuse to let him cut any spending. Literally in the tweet thread she's reacting to, they're like, oh, Biden has put multiple spending cuts on the table. Biden was even flirting with the idea of, yeah, maybe we'll do some work requirements for our social safety net. By the way, this is stuff the quote-unquote far left hammered him over. There was a panic. There was outrage. They were hitting Biden repeatedly in public. They made the White House staffers reach out to all these people on the quote-unquote far left. They're not really far left. But these people were reaching out saying, no, it's okay. Biden does not want to do work requirements. He doesn't want to do it. He doesn't want to do it. Everybody relax. Everybody calm down. Stop hitting the president in public. Please, 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 please. He's on your side. We swear he's on your side. Marjorie Taylor Greene saw none of that nuance. Literally in the tweet thread she's reacting to, it debunks her own claim. Biden doesn't want to cut any spending. He's proposed a bunch of spending cuts. In fact, so much the quote-unquote radical left mob, as she calls them, are like, hey man, what are you doing? Use the 14th Amendment, you loser. But Marjorie Taylor Greene doesn't care about any of those facts, any of those specifics. She's got one mode. Tribal idiot loser. That's her only mode. Let me just spew my brain-dead, far-right talking points. Biden's a communist. Biden's a Marxist. Yeah, that's what he is. He's beholden to the far left. Biden's a Maoist. That's what he is. I say that, but Marjorie Taylor Greene wouldn't even know what a Maoist is. She probably doesn't even know what a communist is. I can't get over. She said he refused to put spending cuts on the table when in that exact thread she's reacting to, they pointed out specific examples of spending cuts he put on the table. This is who you're trying to deal with, Joe? This is who you want to deal with? These people don't care. They're hardcore ideologues. They don't want to do what's best for the country. They don't want to do what's best even for their own constituents. They're out for blood in these debt ceiling talks. They're out for blood. They want to cut our social safety net programs to the bone so poor and middle-class people get hammered. And it's all at the same time that they give billions and billions of dollars to their defense contractor donors. More military spending, endless corporate subsidies. That's who they want to give all the money to. It's the oligarchs. It's the economic royalists. That's who they want to help as they screw regular people. And Joe Biden's playing footsie with them as they're out there just flat out lying about his position and pretending he's some sort of far leftist. Look, you can't take people like Marjorie Taylor Greene seriously. Look, if you want to have a reasonable critique of Joe Biden, of course I'm listening. I make critiques of Joe Biden on a regular basis. But if you want to go out there and say he's captured by the radical left mob, you just have no idea what you're talking about. He's not agreeing to any spending cuts. Here's a list of the spending cuts he agreed to. You got no idea what you're talking about. You're either an idiot or a liar, or in her case, both. Hey y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.